to another edition of Psychic Sundays Live with your host, Sally Diane.
Greetings from your queen of Ooga Booga, that is. Hi, everybody, this is Sally Diane, and welcome to another episode of Psychic Sundays Live with me, your queen, and my producer. I've had a very exciting weekend. My producer has hardly seen me at all. As many of you know, we had our event, the Ghosts of the Queen event this weekend. And so there was some speeches on Friday night, and I talked all about the ghosts. And we also looked at crystals and all the equipment that they use with paranormal investigators. And then on Saturday we had some workshops, psychic development, and we did some crystal trees and smudge feathers. Then on Saturday night, last night, it was so much fun. We did a ghost walkthrough at the Queen's Inn, and what we do there is there were a few rooms that are quite active, and one of the leaders was in each of the rooms, and there were 3 teams of us, and we went from one room to the other and just picked up on the energies and talked about what we felt. And surprisingly enough, all 3 groups came up with very similar stuff. Now, I've been there a long time, and there's one room that used to be part of the Pinckney suite, which is a big suite. And one of the owners, Mr. Pinckney, who was a no-nonsense kind of guy, lived in that apartment. But
Hi, Sonia.
Every time I go in there and I'm visiting with my friends, all I get is, why aren't you working? Why aren't you working? Well, last night we had a piece of equipment that just puts out words. It talks to you. It's kind of like static, and then every now and then a word will come through the static. And you ask questions to the machine, and a word will come out. Well, every time I said anything, the machine would just say, work. I was told 5 times to work last night, and I was having the night off. So anyhow, that was my night last night. I hope y'all had a good week, and I hope most of us are celebrating over the good news from the South. I know I am. Anyhow, this isn't about me. This is about you. So who do we have first?
Mr. Maurice Evans-Jones would like to know about his fiance, not finances.
Your fiance.
And a job outlook as well.
Okay.
Can you slide your chair that way?
That way? Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, so finances. The first card that you get is the 2 of Swords. And my 2 of Swords talks about kind of a friendly parting of the ways, a truce, an agreement, the end of a negotiation. And for you, it feels like you have made some choices recently, and it really feels voluntarily, and you might be a little worried that you might not have made the right decision. I think you did, but we'll see what the other cards have to say. Yes. You've made the right decision. It looks like you decided to walk away from a certain situation. Do not regret this, because you really dodged a bullet there. You just did. And negatively speaking, I see a bit of confusion here. And I know you asked about your finance. Well, I know you asked about your fiance, and this is about your finances, because that's what I was thinking when I cut the cards, was about your finances. And you've got a new situation there. And like I said, friendly parting of the ways, and you dodged a bullet. You avoided a really tense, stressful situation. I want you to, on your fiance, because your love life is totally different subject. As far as your finances go, you just need to be a little bit, you have to know what you want. You know what you don't want. Now look at what decide what you want and head for that. Use it as your North Star. And you should succeed quite readily. And your fiancé, we're going to use the runes because I just love my new runes. So toss out a couple runes and let's see what we got. Okay, so here, these two together, I see these two as representing you and your fiancé. And you have basically horse and sun, which tells me that if each of you brings your, it's kind of like you have the symbiotic relationship where her strengths are your weaknesses and your strengths are her weaknesses, kind of thing. So you balance each other out. And there is good potential here. You've got the sun, and you also have Tyr. And Tyr is not just about truth, although truth is very, very important in a relationship. It's also about contracts, and it is favorably aspected. And this toss was about your marriage and your upcoming marriage. Yeah, this contract, this partnership will go well for you. When I look at the path ahead, this says not everything is knowable. You've kind of got a dice cup, so it's kind of a roll of the dice. And this kind of tells me that the next few years of life might not deal you everything you've expected, but you also have Iwas, which is the rune of the hunter. And so that tells me even though the next few years aren't going to be what you expected, they're going to be everything you want. So let life surprise you a little bit. And just a little other this just confirms this, because this says not everything is knowable. Pertho, can you see that? Okay, and this is Thagaz, and Thagaz reminds you that life can change on a dime, no matter who you are, no matter where you are. But this one is the rune of the hunter. This one tells me that you will get what you were looking for in life. So again, that gets back to what I tell you about find your North Star and go for it. And then you have Ingus, which is kin. And I like that, and that's where I'm going to end the reading. It tells me that this is going to make your family relations stronger. So everything about family is well aspected for you. Okay, and who's the next one? Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to tune in every week. And who do we have next, darling?
Dead air. Phil.
Oh, no. Come on, ask questions. Speak up, people. I'll tell you a little bit more about last night. Really? My goodness. Well, I wonder where everybody is. Goodness gracious, but I'm glad that for everybody that's here, I'm thankful for everybody that's here. And it was, I'm glad that you tuned in. Since you're there, I'll talk to you a little bit about what's going on down south. The presidential election. Anybody who's watched my show has known that I have had a vision about the end of the Trump presidency. And I've had it since day one. Basically because I asked, how's this going to end? And what I got was a picture of the White House, and it was White House at night. And I'm not sure whether the night was literal or whether it was metaphorical, but it was, you could tell it was night. It was a little darker, and there were red and blue lights, like from emergency vehicles. You could just see them flashing on the front of the White House, but there was something blocking my view, so I couldn't see the door, and I couldn't see the steps, and I couldn't see the drive in front. So I couldn't actually see what was making the red and blue lights. And there was no sound. All you could hear was like the little motors on the lights. So there's just this whole stunned silence. And all this time, what's bothered me is why couldn't I see the door? I thought it was like a hedge or a fence, but I know that the hedge on the White House is way in front. You can still see the door. Well, last week, he erected an anti-scale fence. So that's why I can't see the front door. I don't know how the rest of it's going to unfold, but we're seeing it unfolding now. And the next 3 weeks are going to be bizarre in Trump world. Very bizarre. I think he's going to find some way to get out of the country. Another thing that I picked up was that...
You can stop. Hello, everybody. We've got here Sonia, Suzanne, Tanya. Haunting Live is here. Marcy's here.
Oh, everybody's here. Oh, great.
Yes, Tanya says thank you for an amazing weekend.
Oh, you're so welcome. Oh, didn't we have fun? You know, we were raising the dead, literally.
All right, so question time.
Yes, ask your queen your question.
Hi, Ivory. Just ask a question via chat, and please end it with a question mark, because it's easier to see that way.
He needs glasses.
Suzanne wants to know about her week ahead.
Okay, well, welcome to the show, Suzanne. It's nice to see you back. Ooh, this card came flying out. What is that?
And there's also an issue with her sister not getting respect. And just her relationship's not going well. She's concerned. Suzanne's concerned about that.
So the card that came flying out for you, I'll pull some more cards, but I want to discuss this one first. The card that came flying out was Justice. And with Justice, there's a bit about karma there. And not just karma, but balance. And this card feels like you need to be balanced and be above that stuff with your sister. I don't know why she's acting out, but that's not something that you can own. And just by engaging her, you're just making it worse, and you're just putting stress on yourself that you don't need to do. You've got a lot of good things going on in your life, so that's what you need to focus on. And when your sister starts a drama, tell her you don't have time for her. So let's see your week ahead, Suzanne. So you have the Ace of Swords. Oh, that's right. You're starting your new job this week, aren't you? Anyhow, this is going to be a week of new beginnings. You know, you got the Ace of Swords. There's a feeling there of just getting to the point where you're really getting your teeth into the job. I like that feeling. You're actually learning some of the stuff that you're learning this week is really valuable information. But, you know, sometimes you go to a session or something, and even after you go through the class, you walk out feeling no smarter or no wiser, basically. This week, you are going to feel like you're learning valuable stuff, and you are going to feel wiser. And look who shows up negatively. Justice. Don't let your sister get under your skin, because you carry it with you. You know, she annoys you for 10 minutes, and then for 2 days, you're chewing on whatever she said, and you're building up, you're raising your blood pressure, and you're getting stressed out. Don't let her irritations become your problem. Her problems belong to her, not to you. And if it means blocking her for a bit, Suzanne, block her. You don't need to be carrying anybody else's stress. You're trying to get ahead in life. Nice. And then positively aspected, you have the Nine of Wands, but it's reversed. And with the Nine of Wands right side up, there's this idea of defensiveness. There's this idea of being sort of stuck in one place. So, of course, when it's reversed, the obstacles fall away. And people who weren't cooperative and weren't doing what they were supposed to do before will start being more cooperative. So it looks like you have a pretty active week, and you definitely don't have time for your sister. And I would literally tell her that. And if she cries, so be it. Guess what? Crying won't kill you. Okay, but it looks like a good week for you.
Sonia is not feeling well. and she wants to know if there's anything new coming for her this week, I suppose.
Sonia, I'm sorry you're not feeling so well. Okay. I'd kind of like to do the runes for you, Sonia. So I will. And we'll throw them out. And so this week, the first thing you get is Iwas, the rune of the hunter. So this is a good week for you to be looking around and looking for ways to improve your situation. Even if it's kind of going after your boss's job. This is a week to look for routes to move ahead. You have Ingus, which is family. And this feels like it's here to remind you that you do have a good support system around you. And don't be afraid to discuss things with your family. Here right in the middle you have Ansus, which it's about ancestors. It's about getting in touch with some of the older people. This in particular feels like your mother. You know, and what does it say about your mother? Okay, so I see the word bright comes through. The word bright, the word light. I think things become brighter and more clear for your mother this week. There's this idea of vision there. Okay, and relationship-wise, actually, relationships work very well. This is a good week to work in teams. It just feels like you're at your best socially. I know you don't feel good, but you're really at your best socially. Maybe it's kind of turning your volume down a notch or something, whatever. But this is a week where working together with other people leads to double success, to a win-win kind of situation, and helps get you a little bit more grounded. Maybe maybe making your relationships closer by working as a team. So this is a good week for that. And overall, this one kind of flew out, and this one is Thor's hammer. It's called Thor's ass, but it talks about situations that can spiral out of control easily. And I wanted to point out to you that you do have this idea of family and co-workers. You know, so do not carry everything yourself. As much as you can, share jobs, share your burdens. Because anything you try and carry by yourself is just going to overwhelm you and get out of hand. So this is a good week for cooperation and working with people. As far as how you feel, I'm just going to draw a quick rune on that. And then 2 just want to come through. Okay, so you've got Tiwas and Torch. So you've got
Hold them up.
Oh, sorry. You've got Tiwas, which is justice and truth. So this sickness, maybe you should consider what's making you ill. You know, and maybe change your diet or change something that's a stressor on you. And then you also have Kenaz.
Lower.
More?
Lower.
Lower.
Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah, a little higher. Somewhere in between there. There we go.
Okay, good. This is Kenaz, and Kenaz is Torch. It's about feeling energized. It's about feeling okay, I get it. You're not feeling well, but you might get a little bit of a fever before you recover. And fevers can be, I know that they're an indication of sickness and everything, but one thing that fevers do is they tend to clear things out. There's a reason why your temperature goes up. It's to kill germs and stuff. That's your body's defenses. So you will be feeling better by Tuesday, but I don't think you're going to feel any better tomorrow. I'm sorry. But thank you for tuning in, Sonia, and I hope you have a good week. You should. Except for tomorrow. Sorry.
All right. Welcome, Crystal Puller, Nav, Bianca,
Oh, the gang's all here.
Anastasia.
Oh, hello, Anastasia. I love that name.
So, let's start with something. Haunting Live wants to know what the cards say about the stars, because that's important.
About the stars.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, you mean like stars in the sky, or the stars, those kind of stars? Okay, Chris, you need to be a little bit more specific, because I'm an old person and I don't know a lot of the stars. I know about Justin Bieber. Unless you're talking about
stars in the sky.
the stars in the sky.
I'm not quite sure what you're supposed to be reading there.
Well, okay, but I'm using these cards, and I did get these cards from Haunting Live as an appreciation gift this weekend, and so you get the first reading with it. And one of the cards that came flying out for you is labradorite. And labradorite, is a Canadian opal. It's a pretty stone, but it's a subtle stone. So if you looked at it from a distance, it just looked like a rock. But when you get close, it's this dark stone that's just got this wonderful nacreous colors, all the rainbows of colors. There's a lot of rainbows in labradorite. And labradorite isn't just about protection. A lot of the darker stones are protective, but it's also about looking good and feeling good. And it's not lost on me that the word on the bottom of it is truth. So this tells me that this week you could find a way to get to some truths that have been eluding you. Is there anything else you wanted to know, Chris? I really love these cards. They're very pretty, people. This is an oracle deck.
Ivory would like to get a reading on family relationships and an outcome in a financial situation about a car accident.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, that's quite a mouthful.
It is. Okay, so I'm going to do it in reverse order because I think I need to get the car accident out of the way, because that's something that can be loud and
For anybody
overshadow.
that has a question, please type it in chat, and please end it with a question mark. Otherwise, I'm going to miss it. We will get to all of you. It just takes a little while. It's one at a time. That's all we can do. And Sally likes to talk.
Yes, folks, your queen likes to talk. I think that everybody should start their questions with Your Majesty. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Okay. So, and we were looking at Anastasia?
No, Ivory.
Ivory. Oh. Lovely stuff. Looks best on elephants. Okay. So you're looking for a legal settlement from a car accident, and I do see money coming down. You got six of pentacles here, and with my 6 of pentacles, you also got like these little pieces of paper through here. So there are court papers, there are contracts around you, and there's money in the mix, so that works out. And he does look like he's feeling pretty proud of himself. The only thing is I really don't think that's quite as much as you're looking for, because it looks like a 6, and I feel like you're going for a 10. Okay. I'm getting the number 6, but I'm getting this feeling, because when I look at this, it's telling me that whatever you're offered is actually a good offer, all things considered. Accept the offer, even though you think you might be able to get more. Okay, so we're going to look at your health. And I like to look at that separately. They're just such separate topics, really. So,
family relationships.
It's family relationships? Yeah, see? Your queen's just getting old, that's all. Okay, family relationships for Ivory.
Oh, the Queen's not old. She's just wore out from this weekend.
Oh my goodness, was it an active weekend?
All those ghosts, all those people not used to the ghosts and having freakouts.
Yeah, well, that happens, right? So family relationships, you get the Six of Swords, but it's reversed. And the Six of Swords is about moving on and moving to calmer waters. But when it's reversed, it means you're traveling to choppier waters, which I don't think that you're the one that's making the drama, but somebody's making the drama. There is something about, there is something positively aspected about money, material things, but it's not 100% there. So I think that it's actually that you guys are going to make your peace and settle about some material things, and that's the best thing you can do. You have the Ace of Wands ill aspected. It's like what's negative. The Ace of Wands, can also be, it's fire. And I feel like right now it's also temper. And you have to be real careful about that. I know that you've got a couple people there that like to natter at you a bit. Don't let them get under your skin. Sometimes that's what siblings and family do, But thank you for tuning in. Good luck to you.
Nav wants to know what to expect in self-love. No, regular love this week. Did you get that?
Regular love.
Yes. Nav wants to know what she can expect in love this week. Sorry if you're a he.
Nav and love. Nav's asked about love before. I think we're going to look at the runes. But if you don't mind, I'd like to look at more than a week, because in love, you want relationships that last a long time. And if you're only looking a week at a time, it's like walking and looking at your feet at the same time. Sooner or later, you're going to run into a post. So let's just see just relationships in general and see what's coming up, not just this week, but maybe a little further too, okay? So, there's a good handful. Let's see. I'm glad I looked. Because this is Isa, and Isa is ice. Do I have it in the right spot?
Yep.
Okay, Isa is ice, but just the way it's like, here's everything else, and Isa is right here kind of making a blockade. So you asked about this week. It's not going to be very active this week. I knew I had to look long term because there is potential here. This is, it's sometimes called the hug room, but it's two people in a relationship. They're happy with life and happy with each other. So it's a good, active relationship. So you're headed in a good direction, even though you don't see a lot of results this week. Everything's a path. And if you look here, you have Wunjo. I want to compare the two. If you look at this one, this is Manaz, and this is the one that's about relationships. And if you look at it carefully, this one right here, Wunjo, means victory. Remember I said it's like two people having a successful life? This is victory and success, but this here is victory and success times 2. So you're headed in a good direction. Be patient and don't look at it a week at a time. That doesn't work very well. These ones that are turned upside down are more like just describers or adjectives, just little things. Okay, you have algas, and algas represents the world tree, but it also represents divine guidance and being watched over and protected. And right next to it is Othilla, and Othilla means homeland. So that talks about your home. So that's telling you that your most blessed spot is your home. And you're looking for somebody to share your home with, and you're headed in that direction. Good. And then you have kin. And so the relationship that's starting to form around you. It's not going to move ahead much this week, but it's still moving ahead just because you can't see. You're headed towards something that you've got two-way success and somebody who becomes part of your family. So it looks like short term, but long term, really good, Nav. So hang in there.
All right, who's next?
Right, really big so you can see
Crystal
it.
Polar. This tall, dark-skinned man was staring at me at my job. Who is he, and what does he want?
You should ask him that. But I'm going to look at, because that's a mystery, isn't it? Okay, so Crystal's mystery man. Tall, dark, handsome stranger. Well, you didn't say he was handsome. Is he handsome?
Handsome enough to get her attention.
Well, there you go. Crystal's tall, dark, stranger. Okay. So the center card is the Empress, and the Empress is about nurturing, and it's about growth and fertility. So, but I worry that it's turned upside down. It's reversed. So I think that, I get the impression this is somebody who thinks he knows you, but he's not sure. So there's like, who is she? And he's feeling the same way about you that you're feeling about him, basically. Who is this person? Have I met this person before? Because he thinks he's met you before. He just can't remember your name. Oh, that's good. Positively aspected, you have the Hermit, but it's reversed. The Hermit, in this particular case, I feel like it's literal, that you're in a spot of aloneness. And when the Hermit is turned upside down, you're no longer alone. In a good way, in a good way. I really think you should approach this guy. Say, hi, can I help you? Hi, nice day. Okay, and I didn't talk about the negative aspect. The negative aspect here about this guy is he's always going to be a little, it's like getting information about who he is and what he wants is like pulling teeth. So approach him, you'll find bit by bit. It'll take you a while to find everything about him because it's kind of, like I said, pulling teeth. But it feels like it's a good evolution. This could grow into something good. And it's not lost on me that you have this this progression of numbers 3, 6, 9. So you got body, mind, soul. This could turn into something good. Approach him. Ask him if you can help him.
Anastasia Enchanted wants to know. She wants a love reading. Do you see the man that will come... Let me try that one again. Do you see the man that I will marry coming into my life soon?
You shouldn't worry so much about getting married. The wedding is one day of your life. Marriage is a contract, but it's not a relationship. A relationship is something that happens bit by bit. And I just worry that your focus on marriage is going to hamper your ability to actually build a relationship because you're too interested in turning the relationship into a marriage instead of letting it grow into what it wants to grow. Just my opinion there, Anastasia. But,
Ooh, we lost some cards.
We had one card fall out, the Chariot, and the Chariot talks about getting a handle on things and moving forward. So, yes, there is movement here. forward movement. I don't think you're going to find a husband by Christmas, but you'll find one by next summer. Okay, and who's the next one?
Oh, I don't know yet.
He said I talk too much.
Well, that was really quick.
Well, yeah. It came through really quick. I meant it.
Jenna's here. She had such a great time this weekend.
Oh my goodness, Jenna is just the most beautiful girl, and you should see the sparkler she's got on her finger. Boy, howdy!
Well, that brings us to her question. She was wondering if she could have a short top up, considering what happened over the weekend.
Woohoo! We'll just throw some runes for you, Jenna. Okay, so piece of advice: if either of your two problem children get a little too far out of hand, it's an old wives thing that you do. You write their name on a piece of paper and you freeze it in an ice cube. And then you take that ice cube and put it in the farthest corner of your freezer so nobody finds it. Just chill them out.
That sounds way better than getting a cold glass of water thrown at you.
I only did that once.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about you. That's how I was raised.
First rune, you've got Manas. That's a hug rune. You guys, you guys are just the most awesome couple. Just your energies together are amazing, and this is the start of a long, successful relationship. I'm so glad you put the ring on your finger. This one, Othello, is about home, and home's the first thing you're dealing with. Well, you know that, but you're dealing with it pretty quickly. These two are describers. Let's see what it says. Okay. You have Pertho and you have Ansus, which means nothing to you. But this is Dice Cup, or the unknowable, or chance, and this is ancestor. These two together, I know we talked about the houses. I think you guys are going to be making arrangements for the yours, mine, and ours, and it is going to be his home. Not your family home now. Yeah, you got torch, fire, energy, and you guys definitely got fire and energy. I like what I get off of you guys, because as I touch this, I get this no nonsense kind of thing where you're both on the same page and you know what to do going forward. And that's good, because you guys really have a lot to deal with going forward. These brave guys got 7 kids between the two of them. Okay, yeah. You will be very, you guys feel like you're so close and so on the same page right now. And it's like you're planning the wedding and you're thinking about the changes that it makes in your family. But you haven't really realized how much of a change that just getting married and having that contract. I know that both of you have had bad experiences before. This is going to be the positive one. Getting married, that's going to be like the ribbon on top of the package. It's going to be it's the icing on the cake, so to speak. It does actually bring your relationship to another level, where it's not just we have the same home and I got a fancy ring on my finger. It's you both feel like very different people, which is a good thing. Marriage is supposed to make you two as one, and it will. You just don't realize how close you can be to somebody. You'll be very glad you married him. I'm glad you said yes. Hey, Ed, she wasn't so sure she was going to say yes.
Sonia has a follow-up question, although I'm not quite sure what it is. Sonia, could you write that, please? Chris wants to know about his week ahead.
All right. We'll use these. Now, let's just do it like this. Your week ahead. Okay.
Too far up.
Okay, well, no, I'm going to bring them down here, honey. Okay, so we've got the first part of the week, the middle of the week, and the weekend. Okay, so the first part of the week, you've got a spirit quartz. So, and the word here is amplify, but with the spirit quartz, I get the feeling that this is a time for you to really put it out there. You know, do a lot of posting, put up a lot of videos, stuff like that. It's like anything that you can do to be loud and visible, do it. Do it. And I don't mean stand in the middle of your apartment and shout at Trevor. I mean just put, you know, that could be fun, but you see, I got him to laugh. He knows I'm funny. So, but just pump up the volume. Put out a little bit more. You know, really toot your own horn early on. The middle of the week, the middle and toward the end of the week, you've got emerald. And I always like emerald. I always see that as a money stone. It's a stone I like to put in my hand when I want money or good business. So toward the end of the week, you should be looking to make new opportunities for yourself. And then the weekend, you've got the smoky quartz. And, you know, I like the energies off of a smoky quartz. It's protective. And even though they look like a little brown gray, their energies are so golden, really, that I think you're going to have a surprisingly good weekend. So the week ends on a good note. Overall, you're going to have a pretty good week there. And I like these cards. Okay, so who's next?
Not quite sure who's next yet. I heard some of you are yelling at me through your TV.
That's a fun thing to do. Don't yell too loud, though, because he's still got all three strikes right in front of him. Unless somebody's going to disagree.
I can feel the love. It's awesome. Thank you so much. But to the guy with the brass knuckles, that is not how you use them.
Now that's one. He intends to use all three, folks. So who's next?
How about we do This Week in Canada?
Is it time for This Week in Canada already?
Oh, we gotta kill some time.
Oh my goodness. It's getting there. Okay, so This Week in Canada. And folks, just so you know, I know I didn't put out any Trump videos last week. I just didn't see the purpose. But the week coming ahead, we are going to look at Donnie T. and his children, and the Lincoln Project, and the Supreme Court. Because those are all things that are going to be heavily influenced. So, the week ahead in Canada. So, influential. All I see is Justin Trudeau. I think he might win the week. So, This Week in Canada, it starts out with the Queen of Coins and the Five of Coins. The Five of Coins is about being, in this particular case, it's about morals and doing the right thing over money. And we have done the right thing. And I think this has to do with the COVID compared to the rest of the world, and particularly our neighbors to the south. We have done the right thing. We've taken care of ourselves and our folks, and we've done everything we wanted to at a cost, at a big cost. We are going to start reaping the rewards of that. Also look for them to, I think there's a little bit of something here about the basic guaranteed income or something like that. That's going to be discussed a little. That's going to be more in the news this week. I think so they're going to be looking at seriously. There's a big worry about the upticks in deaths, because I feel them kind of talking about the numbers, and it doesn't feel good. It feels like it's escalating, and they're worried about it. So because they're worried about the numbers, I think the problem there is that the numbers aren't going down fast enough. Because I'm seeing them extend some of the closures. Sorry, Toronto. Sorry, Peel region. Sorry about and the other ones that are high COVID areas. You're going to be shut down a little bit more. They're just not getting under control well enough. Well. So this confirms this, where we're not doing as well as we want to, but comparatively speaking, we're doing better than other places. And I'm pretty sure that I'll see something about this. You got the Ten of Wands here, and that's carrying a lot of weight. I think that in the short term, our relationship with the United States is going to become more tense, just because in the short term, the United States is going to become a much more tense place. It's kind of like, like a match will burn the brightest right before it goes out. It's like that. So, I did get an impression. I just got a vision of Justin Trudeau, and I see aspects of him here with the Pope and the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is this right side up. He's this loving king that puppies and children love, but it's turned upside down. So it depends on how you look at it. He is going to be under a lot of fire. There is going to be some hurtful things said to him. So on that level, it's not a good week for him. But as far as progressing, as far as having a productive week, he is going to achieve quite a bit this week. So again, I worry about strength. I worry about the strength of our hospitals or of our medical system, because when I put down the strength card, it says force, but strength. The impression I got was nurses, that we don't have enough nurses, and we have taught. It has been on the news that they're worried about the hospital not having enough hospital beds, etc., so on. That's kind of going to come to a peak. And having said that, the week ends on a very, very positive note with the Queen of Cups. Toward the end of the week, they will maybe figure out a way to bring more nurses on, either bringing them out of retirement or pulling them out of school and getting them to start their careers early. But somehow there's going to be a relief for our medical personnel figured out by the end of the week. I wish there was more news about the finances, but there is that assurance that, you know, right now is a time for us to be working on healing and to be working on the you know, each other, you and me and everybody being healthy and conquering this before we worry quite so much about money. And the Queen of Cups assures me that we will do all right financially, and in the long run we'll be very glad that we did what we needed to do to get this disease under control. We're just going to throw a couple more cards as clarifiers. That's good. You've got the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is another non-material card about turning your back on profit for goodness, for love. Yeah, basically for love. And love can take many faces, not just a man and a woman type of love, but love of your citizenry, love of your country. This says that to take care of each other, we're going to, again, make sacrifices. And this I see as being the businesses that close, and that, you know, that it's not going to be easy, but we're going to do it. And I will leave this week in Canada with the Star card, and that reminder that this is a blessed country, and we are headed in a good direction. And I know it's been hard with COVID and the scary stuff down south and the way it's spilled over. But as it calms down there, it will calm down here too. And by the end of the week, you're going to find people in a much more positive state of mind. It's just like, you know, 4 years of bricks have been taken off of our shoulders. All right.
So, Sonia is confused about her reading, or somebody else is confused about her reading. She didn't actually didn't actually ask a question, and it's just a string of words that don't make much sense to me. Maybe try some punctuation. I don't mean to be a dick here, but I'm sorry.
Okay, so Sonia, don't worry about it, Sonia. Let me just focus on you and trust. We'll just do a general reading and trust what you need to know will come out. Okay? So let's just look at what Sonia needs to know. Make it clear, make it concise. We all want to see good pictures. We all want it in a way we can understand. Okay, Sonia. You've got the Ten of Pentacles reversed right in the center of your spread, but that tells me your situation right now, you're losing your grounding a little bit. You've got the there is financial security here. There is a foundation. There is something solid here. But I'm worried that the sands of time are kind of eroding it away. And you have to remember to give back what you take, not just money-wise, but otherwise too. There's a need to express gratitude here. That's a way to give back on one level or another. I worry about the amount of wands that are around you. The Ten of Wands worries me a bit, even though it's positively aspected. It tells me that you can carry a lot, but what worries me about that, Sonia, is that all the other people that should be helping you out that aren't. So I think you need to call them on that, because you can't keep it up forever, and you can't carry everything alone forever. So you need to demand that the people who should be giving you a helping hand do so. and it's okay to use guilt. The one thing that works against you, you've got the Two of Wands, but it's not just the Two of Wands, it's the Two of Wands reversed. And there's a feeling here of it's almost like you're letting somebody pick on you. You're letting somebody bully you. And it's out of a sense of kindness or pity or something like that. It's not because you're truly intimidated by this person. It's just that maybe it's just a fear of confrontation. I think this is a good week to confront those. Yeah, I think that this is a week to confront those who are letting you down, who aren't doing enough for you, and definitely call the bull on the bullies. Okay. Who's next?
Bianca wants to know what's coming for her husband and herself this month, this week.
It'll be interesting to see what the cards say, because I just get a vision of a window. I'm not sure what that means. So with your husband, whatever job he was going for before that he didn't get, time for him to go for it again. Time for him to ask again. It just feels like the way he's looking, he shows up as the Knight of Coins. And the Knight of Coins is slow moving and methodical, but he's got this coins under him, and he's looking at Judgment. And Judgment it's reversed and it's on the wrong side. But it's kind of like I say, he's going after something that he's been turned down before. And the cards are saying, don't be afraid. The last time you asked for this, the time was wrong. So it is time for him to revisit some of the opportunities that didn't work so well for him in the past. As far as you're concerned, we've got the Two of Wands, but it's the Two of Wands reversed. Yet still on a positive side. So when I look at this, it seems to me like, so it's like this. And with my Two of Wands, you get this picture of somebody who has their foot on somebody else's head. So there's an aspect of maybe being pushed around or dominated a bit. But when it's reversed, that means that you find a little bit of independence. You find a little bit of your own voice. And you learn a new way to stand up for yourself this week. So overall, both you and your husband will have a good week, and both of you need to speak up, speak your mind. You need to speak your mind and basically tell somebody off, and he just needs to go back to something he tried for before and try again. Okay. So who's next?
Joseph has a question.
Joseph.
From his mom.
Why can't your mom type it herself? Tell your mom I love her. What's the question?
How is Jones' estate going to go?
Oh dear. Oh, that's a question, all right. So we'll see what the runes have to say. And I know you've got a set of runes, so hope you're using them. Okay, so how's her estate gonna go? Now, does Joan have a house in the mix? And I just say that because when I look in the short term, it looks like the little things, the sentimental things, aren't a problem at all. They're properly distributed. And they're distributed with love, mostly to his children, her children. To her children and her friends, all the sentimental things. Those are distributed from the estate. I worry about, you have the rune of the hunter, but then it's got the past coming back to haunt you. So as you're setting up for how to dispose of the big money items from the estate, the sentimental things, and those are the things you think that people are going to tussle about. Nah. That's I worry about the when you get the estate, whether it's to an auctioneer or somebody who sells stuff off. I just worry about getting the wrong agent there. So don't just hire the first one that comes along. Ask questions and be a pain in the ass about it. Make sure you get the right one. Two of the three faith runes. Okay, so it talks about constraint. Definitely. When you get to who's going to be the auctioneer, who's going to run the estate sale, do your homework and really take a good, careful look at these guys and research them through the Better Business Bureau or something like that, because there's a charlatan in the mix, and it feels like it feels like this is something that's very similar to something that happened to you before, because it feels like the past coming back. But when I pick up my head and look at when I pick up my head and say, okay, what about long term? You've got Rytho, which is cart, which does say when it starts to go, it goes fast. Once you find the person to do the selling, it goes fast. And Uruz is right there. And this is a funny one, because with Joan, she had a way of just finding it. It's not just your mom. It's quite a few other people. She just had her way of finding a spot in their heart. And so it's just basically saying that even after everything is said and done, even after all the property has been distributed, she will still live in the hearts of a lot of the people around her, not just your mom. She will be remembered. And positively, too. I know she had her ups and downs, but now it's time to focus in on the positive, and it feels like people around her understand that.
Sonia, send an email to Sally at the email address on the screen, and it's also listed on the YouTube channel itself. And just in case, all one word, Queen of Ooga Booga at gmail.com.
So last night,
Sally does Skype readings for long distance readings.
Yes. Anybody that wants a reading with me, if you're in Stratford and you want a reading in person, call the spa near the tracks and set up an appointment. And I'm there every other week. Or you can contact me at queenofoogabuga at gmail.com, and we'll schedule a Skype reading. Okay, and I want to say that speaking of phones, at the seance last night, we had what's called a medium's trumpet. And I wanted to catch any sounds the medium's trumpet might make, because the sounds can be real subtle and hard to hear. So I put my cell phone with the microphone pointed into it, and I started recording with the seance. At the end of the seance, I saved the file, but then I discovered that the speaker in my phone is gone. No ring, no voice, no speaker, no nothing. So that's what the medium's trumpet did to my phone. So that was a casualty of the weekend.
We have one last question from Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
Should I agree to the question I was asked in my legal case?
Okay. Let's see if we can make that less. Should I agree with? So is that consent to or agree to?
We won't know until she types it. And that could be a while.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just going to look at it. I was just musing out loud. Okay. Say the question again so it's a little clearer in my mind.
Should I agree to the question I was asked in my legal case?
Right. Should you?
You're welcome, Sonia.
There we go.
A little to the left. There we go.
Well, these just fell out. First off, you have the devil, but the devil is reversed. And so I think this is a question that might put the light on somebody. You know, it's kind of like a whistleblower kind of question. And it feels like it's an uncomfortable question and asks you to give information you don't want to give. I think you need to. Because right now, this situation, whatever it may be, this legal situation, isn't healing fast enough. You need to tell them everything you know. When I look at what's next, because this is what's now, and I can see that you're really very, very tense. The devil is an intense card, but it's the first one, so that's the influence that's going out. You know, you ended up in court, so obviously somebody's being a bit of a to you. The Five of Cups is where I get the recovery, but it's not well aspected. So again, you know, you're not. Part of it is being more focused on what's been lost than what still remains. You know, so that's a perspective issue. Answer the question. Answer the question. Yes, answer the question. Because it seems to change the dynamics from just who's injured kind of thing to the issue of money. And when it comes down to money, that goes well for you. And in the King of Cups, this is sort of a warning against not being childish. Answer the question, but be once you've answered the question, be extremely grounded and stay extremely grounded and focused on what your goal is here. But yes, you should answer the question.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for another exciting Psychic Sundays Live with Psychic Sally Diane, the Queen of Ooga Booga. If you have any questions, send us an email, and Sally will eventually get back to you. Is that 3?